into it, guys. Welcome to Building Babellion.
Hi.
Hello.
This is this new little podcast series where we just talk about each project we create, with one of us interviewing the creators. And so for Dollhouse, which is our first production, it was a project between Caleb Leanza and Joshua Afiriyie for a class sophomore year, and it just turned out very well. So, once we started Babellion, we were like, you know what, let's release it, since we all, had a hand in it for the most part. So yeah, give it a little brief pitch for the film, just in case people starting this video haven't watched it yet. It is in a film festival where you can watch it right now. So, pitch it to them.
Right.
What do you got?
So, Dollhouse is a little psychological thriller, I'd say, about a doll trapped inside of a TV show. And basically there's a power outage and the doll has to fight for her freedom, basically, against the overseer who is running the TV show and controlling her every move. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to make, and it was a lot of fun to watch. So you should go watch it. And that's my pitch.
Alright, cool. What does it feel like to be selected into a film festival? How high were your expectations when submitting?
Honestly, I from the start I knew it was going to be accepted into film festivals just because of how long everyone how much work everyone put into it and how much effort and time went into it, because we spent a while on it, and then just between how much thought went into the script by you being the one he developed the idea and everything. I just it, and plus how it came out too, it was just way too good for it not to be accepted. And the fact that it got accepted is just, for me personally, so excited, because it feels like I'm actually doing something in college as well, because the first year and a half I felt before filming I was just I need to be doing something, I need to be taking advantage of this, and I feel this film helped that.
Where did you get this idea from? Did any media or event of your life influence the themes or the way it looks, sounds, etc.?
I wouldn't say I had any real big influences. It kind of just all came together in my head, because most of the time it starts, for me, I'll develop an idea based off of a theme or just an idea. So I was thinking a lot about agency and how I don't know how much you can go through your life not having power, not feeling in control, and then the moment you do finally get that power back, sometimes we don't know what to do with that. So Dollhouse was kind of supposed to show what happens when you take agency, you take that power and you use it for the wrong purposes to reduce the agency in other people.
Right.
So, I kind of just built off of that. And then I always liked how black and white films, because we were doing it for the filmmaking class and it had to be it had to be in black and white.
Oh, okay.
And I was making it, and I was thinking of it being made with the 15 millimeter camera, which is a special type of film.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it would look really cool if we were able to play with the shadows a lot, and really make this, because it's a gritty sort of horror thing. So we could make it really, really intense and dramatic with the lighting and stuff. So yeah.
Wait, what class was that for again?
Filmmaking.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, if you had to, describe it any genre, what exactly would you give it? Just drama, just horror, a little bit of both, or just something completely different?
Yeah, I'd say a little bit of both.
All right.
It's a drama and a horror.
Yeah. As soon as you had the concept for the script, what was the first thing you did in preparation for the shoot?
First I pitched the idea to Caleb, because we were supposed to work together.
That's kind of a funny story within inside of itself, because I remember, because that was when I had the COVID scare or whatever, and I had to stay in my room for like 4 days, and then he was like 6 feet apart, or not, I don't know, like,
yeah,
but like
I was like outside
yeah,
the door.
yeah,
Claudia too.
yeah, and one of the actresses, the doll in the house, but he was like pitching it to me and her because she was gonna be in it as well. And it was just like a funny thing, or funny like little memory that I wanted to add.
Right, that kind of connects to another question, like how soon, as you're creating the concept, or like as you had the concept finalized, at what point did you like choose or decide like Gladia is going to be the doll, or did you even like have her in mind as the protagonist in general and shaped it around her?
Yeah, honestly, like I almost shaped the entire thing around her, because being like, we're in the middle of a pandemic, the options were very limited as to what we could do, who we could film with, what we could film. So Claudia is an amazing actress. She's very accessible. She's our friend. She's easy to work with. So I was like, okay, let me try and build an idea that's not limited to her, but at the same time limited to her.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, why did you choose me then for the overseer? Was that a similar issue, just accessibility, convenience, or what else?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was honestly convenience and accessibility. Because originally I didn't know what I was going to do about the overseer. That was one of the things that was bringing the most stress about making it, because the overseer had to be like this intimidating sort of presence in the film, because he's the person who's like restricting the will of Gladia. So at first I was like, oh, it'd be great if I could get like somebody older to be cast in this role. But, time started winding down, and not to discredit you.
No, absolutely.
You did an amazing job. And I'm lucky that you're living with us and you were able to fill that role.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I was like, Titus, I've worked with Titus before. Titus is good at acting. Like, he can fill the role. So.
All right, thanks. Wasn't it like the day of you told me as well? Because originally it was planned like, yeah, you and Caleb were just like, oh, we have to shoot this thing. We want to make sure there's not a lot of distractions. So you're telling me and Trey like a couple days beforehand, like, yeah, just make sure like that you can't be in like the living room at this time or something like that.
Right.
I was like, yeah, fair. But then the day of, you're like, actually, Titus, I'm gonna need you for like maybe a scene or something like that. And I was like, all right, I can quickly get that out of the way. And then it turned into what it turned to, which is the next question. Did you always plan for the shoot to be all in one night? At what point did you realize that the shooting was going to go through past midnight and into the morning?
I don't think we really planned for it.
Not at all.
Yeah, I don't think we planned for it to, pan out the way it did.
Well, I mean, okay, I think we were going to expecting it was just like a one night thing. But like 2 nights if needed, but like we did not think that it was going to be that long as well, because we thought that we're like start at 7 and maybe end at like 12 or maybe 1 in the morning at the latest. But then it turned into going until like 5 in the morning.
Right.
And then or 6, 5.
It was
6,
very late. Yeah. What were you trying to convey through the set and costume design? Because I know that was like, from being behind the scenes, that was like the first thing you started paying attention to, is like how can we recreate this house to be like a set for this doll,
Yeah, and the fact that it was silent for the most part, for me, I was like, that makes it even more important to make sure that like what needs to be communicated is communicated, because we don't have any dialogue. Right. So like you have to depend on what the set looks like you said, the costume design. So as soon as we started filming, I was like, okay, this needs to look like, I took all the flags down. I want it to be very bare, very like cold.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a dollhouse. Like,
Right, yeah.
They had to look neat.
It had to look somewhat artificial too. Yeah. Let's talk about the famous long take then. How important was this scene for you guys, and are you happy with the way it turned out?
I was very happy with the way it turned out. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to Trey Tyler because I don't think I would have been able to do that. I think.
Yeah, I remember there was one take where you or Caleb. No, it couldn't have been Caleb. It had to have been you. Were controlling the camera. And like Trey was trying to teach you how to, but then at the same time you realize I need to give a lot of direction for this at the same time, which it helps because it was a silent film as well. Like very audible direction to Gladia every step through the process. So yeah, he was able to fill in for the actual DP, controlling the camera. Yeah, that was just like really cool to. I mean, I didn't get to see the process because I had to be out of the entire room because it was going through the entire room. Yeah. But just to be able to hear like Gladia put on Midsummer soundtrack to set the vibe.
Right.
And yeah, you literally every step of the way you were giving her direction, and it was just a very cool thing to hear, like that process.
Yeah.
How many takes did that take?
That was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I was like impressed with that entire shot as well, because like it went such like so smooth, like so much more smoothly than I would have predicted that it would, because I thought it was one of those shots that we would spend like the entire night on and would have to refilm like another day out, but like. And I kind of feel bad because I was kind of like a little bit of an ass to Trey because like because of the class and everything, because I just didn't know, like I thought that, or our teacher within that class told was like, all right, you have to like film everything yourself,
right?
And I didn't know like having Trey, because that's such a crucial shot within the film. I didn't know like if we were allowed to, so that's why I was kind of originally having like maybe you to film it and then. Or I would, but then I was like, all right, it's like already this late. Like Trey's really good at filming, and I'm like so glad that he did it over us, because I feel like one, it would take a lot longer and it wouldn't look as good, and that's just because of that's like not our fault. It's just like he's better in that position. That's like lack of skill on between like the both of us,
right?
And but that's like kind of his field. But like you were saying, I just wanted to add like another little note, but. Like, I didn't know, like, because I'd never seen you, like, direct before. And I was, like, that was my first time, like, seeing you actually, like, direct. And I
guess that's true, yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, like, you're supposed to, like, that's, like, your niche in film. And, like you're supposed to be doing this. Because, like, you were so good. I was, like, you were, like, telling Gladia exactly what to do. And it was, like, in a manner that was, like such a good manner too, because like I feel like some directors can be like absolutely dicks too, I feel, but like you did it in such a manner and like a calming way that it like helped relieve stress off of Gladia.
Reassuring for sure.
But because like that was such like a stressful like take, because it was like 2 minutes long. I don't know exactly how long that exact take, but like just the overall with everything moving and all the counterparts, like that's. And everything to remember as well. It's just a stressful shot in general. But, like, you did a really good job of, like, calming her down and just be like, if she did mess up. Because, like, that's, like, how aren't you going to mess up on that shot? Right. Like, the first, like, 1 or 2, like, times at least.
It's a hard shot to get.
But, like, you just reassured her, like, it's okay to, like, make mistakes. It's, like, a long shot. And you just, like, you didn't, like, get snippy or anything. And I just thought that was really cool. Because I feel like if I was in that position, like, after, like, the 4th pick, I would start getting, like, kind of snippy, but that I don't know.
I've been in the room for a lot of Josh's earlier like director stuff for like media arts projects. Regardless of like, I think I was cast in one of them, but like for the first video you ever did with Rachel, that over the top editing comedy video. That was the first time I ever saw you like direct, and that was very goofy. It wasn't like very serious, so like I didn't think much of it at the time. I was like, we're all just having fun because it's so ridiculous and every time. But then for your final media arts project with Gladia and I again, that is when I was like, yeah, this guy's a director of film. Whereas like the comedy thing was just like, oh, this is a video. We're just like making a video. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like a skit. But this is, yeah, that second time I was Gladia, I was like, oh, this guy can direct film. Like he had the shot list. Like I didn't even have that during my Meteors project. I just didn't think about it. I was just like, as soon as I get there, I'll know what I want. But you came really prepared and you knew exactly what you wanted out of every person. Whereas like me, I could never do that. Like I remember trying to work with Rachel and Sophia on a scene, and I was just like, I was just so annoyed, like I can't do this anymore. But like with you handled it very well, and that's how you've always handled it with all your other projects. So yeah, I definitely get why you would be surprised by that. Like he's definitely good with that sort of stuff.
I appreciate you guys saying that.
As for Caleb, how fun was it being the henchman? Was it always planned for you to have this cameo?
I was not expecting that, but I don't know. I thought that we would like implement Trey into it, but I think didn't he go to bed like earlier in the night?
No, he was filming that shot.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah. That's what ended up happening.
Yeah, so I think it was originally Trey supposed to being the henchman because one of us was going to film, but then he ended up filming that shot for us, and I was like, all right, yes, like I could make my star debut, but like I don't know, I just had fun with it. Like I think I was only in the film like that one shot for a couple of seconds and then another shot towards the end. But,
yeah, that's it. But fun cameo.
Yeah, and then another little like snippet, but it was funny because Titus and I were like waiting in the stairs.
Yeah, I was in the stairwell with him the whole time.
And it was so much fun because like I don't know, we were kind of like goofing off without trying to like make enough noise and stuff. And there's this one picture, I might edit it in.
Yeah, I want to give you a bunch of stuff to just like edit in from behind the scenes stuff. So.
But I want to edit that picture in, but I'm like holding a knife on the stairs with like boots on, and it looks so fucking hilarious. It looks so awesome.
I love that picture.
But yeah. And then like another thing that was like cool with the production or everything, which is another good directing skill, is like I like being like on cue because like I think I forget who tapped. I think it was you. You tapped, like someone tapped, and that was my cue to come up, and then I just had fun with that because I feel I'm never going to be an actor because I'm just so bad at it. Because when I can't remember all my lines, 2, I would like laugh all the time, and 3, I'm just not good at it. But like those kinds of like I don't know like cameos are like really fun because I didn't have to speak at all, and it was just like easy.
I don't really know if your face was ever shown. I mean, you fell at the end, but like you had your hood on, and like that's way too blurry to really catch. So you just had a knife and then you fell. The falling is just that was such a fun part to film. Anyways, just because like we kept like debating where he would fall. That was such a big issue. Like how is he going to fall? Where is he going to fall? Like it was such a big issue. And anyways.
Wait, I just want to say too quickly, like if we ever get famous, I just want to do like cameos like that in like Hollywood movies where I don't have a singular line, but I'm just there.
Like absolutely, I agree. Yeah, it was a long shoot in a tight house. The house feels a lot tighter when you're actually trying to film stuff. That's how it feels. How important were the trips to get pizza and 7-Eleven to keep everyone's energy and spirits high? Any fun anecdotes from the breaks we took?
I just remember when we were finally finished filming, and I think before we had finished filming, we'd be like, since we knew we were staying out, we were like, oh my god, let's watch the sunrise.
Oh yeah.
And we were just like up on the roof listening to music, just watching the sunrise after like how God knows how many hours of just non-stop work. That was like the peak of that experience for me.
The one thing that I regret too, because like we did stay up all night, and the previous morning I woke up at like 9:30, so like it was like 6 o'clock when we finished, so I only had like 3.5 hours to make it like a full 24 hours of like being awake. But I just like crashed like an hour before, and
no, I mean I don't blame you at all. There's also, I think it was around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. where we took a break before shooting in this room, which I don't know if you can see in their angle, the little monitor in the background, one of the ones we used. But anyways, I think it's fine.
Did that mess it up? I'm sorry.
No, it didn't.
That's good.
Oof, that's close. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we all had coffee, and like, you don't really drink coffee much, and we just have the one machine, and I kept going to it, and making everyone coffee, and like debating with everyone, like, okay, you're gonna want this pod because you don't really like the taste of coffee much, or like, but Caleb, you're really gonna want this one because you love it, stuff like that, and like, you poured so much creamer and sugar in yours.
I did.
That was really funny, and we were just like sitting there talking. That's one of the breaks I remember. I don't remember too much about the 7-Eleven trip, but like,
Yeah, me neither.
that was a big thing. Like Gladia was talking about when I did her whole like profile on the Instagram. She was talking about 7-Eleven candy and shit like that. Anyways, yeah. Josh, how come every time Gladia and I are scene partners, you make us do something that always puts each other in harm's way? It seems like this is a pattern now.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't like intend for it to end up like that. It's just, you know, like a lot of the things I do end up being like,
very dramatic.
yeah, like handling dark themes, and then there's usually a lot of like, it just ends up like culminating in this like dramatic conflict. That,
Right.
like, but yeah, this one was especially intense because like Lottie was holding that knife.
And like it cuts off before anyone can see how far it goes, but like I think a lot of people don't really realize because it cuts off like right before me,
Right.
like, oh, that's where it ends, like you don't think it's that. But
Yeah.
like she's in a full motion, like that ends at some point,
Right.
and it goes right past me. So yeah. I mean, I didn't like make any fuss about it just because I knew it would look cool, and I knew Josh really wanted it, and I trusted Gladia, of course. But like that, and the first time we ever shot, I threw her into a bathroom, and then also like we basically filmed like a murder scene. Like I was like fucking trying to kill her. Yeah, there's a lot of very violent stuff in that first one. Is that available on YouTube? We might have to link that, or like, I don't know, show a little clip of that in this. But that one got intense. Gladia did get a little hurt from me throwing her. I remember, but like she didn't really complain much. She was just like, she was even complimenting me, like, "Oh, it hurt. Good job." I was like, Gladia, what the fuck? Like, if you had to go back and change one thing from the shoot, what would it be?
The tree. The tree. During the long take, when we were taking that long take, we have a Christmas tree in the house. And there's a Santa hat on it. And in the long take, Gladia's like at because there's a door in this part of our apartment that leads to nowhere. But Gladia like tries to open it to escape.
I always find that one so funny.
And right behind her, there's a Christmas tree with this Santa hat on it. And it just looks so out of place. At least to me. I mean, like, I feel like to somebody watching that, you're gonna be like, oh, like, look, it's a Christmas tree. And then you just move on. But for me, I'm just like,
yeah, no.
It's taking 2 seconds
right.
out of the way, you know?
Because, I mean, we did mess with a lot of it. Like, we put a whole curtain over the little food, what do you call that? Shelves. Rack, yeah.
I mean, I think it kind of adds to it in a way where it's like, everything's bland, and then I feel like most bland people or whatever at least have like one trinket. Yeah, trinket. I knew I needed someone to say, but I don't know. I just feel like bland, and then they always have that one like little object.
Crazy thing. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it kind of works with the set.
Caleb, how long did the editing process take you? How involved was Josh in this process?
So what? That didn't take as long, but it did take a decent amount because he was there throughout the entirety because he had a vision. I was kind of there just to like do it, like put it all together and stuff. So I think we started from like 6 p.m. and then we went until like 2 a.m. about. So it was a pretty long edit, and for the parts that he couldn't really explain or it would be too complicated, he did on his own. So I think it was the back and forth between Claudia and the long shot, I think.
Yeah, the flashbacks.
Yeah, the flashbacks. I think you edited that, and then I think towards the end, I forget. I think you did more of the flashbacks as well, but but I think I did everything else but that. But so he was kind of like directing me, which I really like, because I don't know, like it's hard to communicate like someone's vision and then actually putting it on edit. Yeah, and like with the jobs I've had with editing, like the past couple summers and just in general, that's usually how I edit. Like someone's like, cause I used to
like
edit,
in your ear.
Yeah, someone's like in my ear, like telling me how they wanted to edit, and I'm just like the person who's actually is able to put it together really fast without like really thinking about it.
Right.
And then I think the jump cut, or I don't even know how to, the glitch effect.
Oh yeah.
So I did that, and then I did the color as well. So it was kind of like the mixture of us both editing at the same time, which I like. But I think so I think we kind of split the job in that aspect.
All right. Sound design comes up a lot from the screenings we've had with friends. I know with Trey, he asked us a lot about that. And then when Brendan saw it for the first time during the film festival's opening, he was curious about the piano. And I feel like this is a very interesting feat for sound design to come up a lot in a film where there's absolutely no dialogue. So how do you guys feel like you pulled this off?
Yeah, so when I was... whenever I think about what I like about like the horror genre in general is how like I feel like that is where the technical elements of film are so much more important, because you know, when it comes to horror, you're trying to create some sort of reaction or some sort of feeling within the viewer, right? So there's so many ways to go about that, right? Visually, through dialogue, through sound, through lighting, etc., etc. So when I was thinking about Dollhouse, and you know, creating that sort of scary effect, and the fact that it was like Dollhouse, so it was kind of like, I wanted kind of like lullaby music, like something innocent or like seemingly harmless. And so I just looked up like royalty-free piano lullaby music on YouTube, and I listened to each song because it was like an hour-long compilation. I didn't listen to each one because that'd be crazy. But I think like the fourth song in, I was like, okay, I think this could work with the film. And I had the idea to like try and use the same sound throughout the film, but change it or bring it back in some way. Because I love when like, I love consistent elements throughout like a film. I found this royalty-free piano music on YouTube, and I picked out one of the songs that I thought fit the vibe of the film the best, and then all I really did was put it at the beginning. Then I like edited a lot in Audition and added a lot of reverb to like, and it's hard to explain because like to explain it, I feel like I have to explain things that happen in the film too, because a lot of the sound design indicates what's going on in the film. Like when Glaudia starts, at one point in the film, Glaudia like malfunctions.
The power outage. So to do that, I was like, okay, I can play with the sound here to further show, right, that there's something going wrong here. And even at the end, I brought the same song back that played at the beginning. But at the end, Glaudia and the Overseer switched places. So it was pretty much the same song. I think I just tweaked it a little bit to like, I don't even remember what I did. I tried to tweak it a little bit
just so that you weren't hearing the same thing you were hearing in the beginning. It was a little different.
Right.
But yeah, sound was a big part of constructing the entire thing. It really helped it come together.
Yeah, that power outage scene especially, it took like a lot of visual editing, a lot of sound design stuff. Yeah, how long do you think that scene took to edit, or like was that something that you had to take a lot of consideration into? Do you remember much of that?
That long take, right?
Not the long take, before the long take where everything's starting to malfunction. Like Overseer's losing control, Gladia herself physically is losing control.
Okay. I think you did that one, right?
Yeah. I think so.
The back and forth, and then with the glitch effect too. I think that just because mainly what I did in that piece, wasn't there a glitch effect in there too?
Kind of.
I haven't watched the film in a while. I should have watched it.
Somebody didn't do his homework.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I think you edited that part, and then I just kind of was the overseer where I didn't mean to make the pun, but I was kind of like, all right, yeah, that fits. Like that's fits okay. Like that is fluent, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, I think I remember it was mostly just picking which, because we had done a lot of.
Oh yeah, Gladia was doing a lot of movement stuff.
Yeah. When we were filming, I just had to do a bunch of like crazy like stuff with her body, and then later when we were editing, I was just like, okay, we'll filter through these and see which ones work, which ones don't.
You sped them up as well. Was a major part of it,
and that's where Caleb came in. From what I remember, it was just mostly when I was like, okay, I kind of organized it, and
you could arrange it, but the like specifications, right? Actually,
yeah. So like he picked out what he wanted from each clip, because like what you just said, like we went through all of the clips, because there was like what, at least 10 maybe 15 clips and that we filmed all together with like retakes and just like the camera not being stable or whatever, and we just kind of took that time, and then I just basically put it all together in the sequence and sped it up and stuff.
Right. All right, so the film is finally edited and you watch it all back for the first time. What are your reactions?
It was very satisfying watching it and how it all came together, especially because not even satisfying but affirming, I think, because we left, our freshman year got cut short because we had to go home for COVID, and we had all that time in between when we left and when we came back. And then when we came back, it was like a whole different experience because everything was on Zoom, everything was online. We're in an art major that kind of requires us to do like hands-on stuff. Yeah. And that was being barred, like we couldn't do any of that. So personally for me, I felt out of touch with my major a little bit. I was like, I don't know. Just there was a lot of self-doubt setting in, and that kind of came through when we were filming too, because I just didn't trust the vision a lot and how it was going to turn out. But when I saw it after it all came together, I was like, wow, like everyone really did their part, and it really all came together in a beautiful way.
Nice. Yeah. Good quote. What do you have to say about it?
I honestly almost started crying because
wow.
Because I don't know, like I didn't, not like, okay, this, I don't want it to come off like something like a dick or whatever, but like I thought it, because originally when you pitched the idea, I thought it was just like, oh, we just have to like film this like video just to like get a grade.
It was another project.
Yeah, it was just like another project. And then it, like throughout the process to actually being on set, I'm like, oh, like fuck, this is like actually starting to be like a real thing. And then like editing and stuff, I'm like, holy crap, like I just like experienced something like sorry, I just blanked, but I just like worked on something that was actually special, not just for another grade. And I was like, it actually came out like super, super good. I was really impressed by by how you directed it, by like the idea and how many connections and stuff it had throughout, and how many like themes weaved in there, and just like how it connected all together. And I was like, holy crap. And then that was like a really big motivation booster for me too, to actually start doing things, because I felt like throughout my time like doing film, I just haven't really accomplished or did anything with editing except for like jobs during the summer. And I'm like, I don't have any like interns or like internships. Like, what am I doing? Like, am I going to be able to get jobs like out of college and stuff? And then like I didn't really do anything to put on my resume. And then right after like we watched the film for the first time, I'm like, this has to be like in films. Like, this is what I can like put on my resume. This is like actually something good that I did with my time, rather than just do another like project just to get a grade. And now I'm kind of falling back into that, because it's been 5 months since 6 months. I'm kind of falling back into that pattern, but I blame Zoom for that. But but my confidence in that, it's going down from that. Well, I mean, it was going up, and then the past couple months it's going back down. But yeah.
So 2 to 3 months pass after you guys, that initial rush of like, oh my God, we just made something amazing all together. Film festivals definitely came to mind. You guys were starting to consider it. And I was taking a producing course, so I started writing stuff out, because I found through the producing course a cool website to look at film festivals. But, after the break, it kind of just like lost in the past.
Yeah.
It just like another thing tossed in the archive maybe. But then Babellion starts, and we started coming up with ideas and writing a lot and stuff like that. But all of a sudden we just remember like this was kind of like the foundation of all of this, because it was kind of like an all hands on deck situation. We all came together, assembled, and made something we were proud of. And that was kind of just like, that was like a moment where we're just like, why haven't we been doing this more? And it kind of sparked that media company idea. So that's building Babellion. That's how it's all started. This is the origin story. The first episode. Any last thoughts?
Go watch Dollhouse.
Yes,
Go
please.
watch Dollhouse right now.
And give us money. I don't know. Okay,
Tell them your Venmo, Caleb.
Follow us at Babellion Studios
on Instagram, Babellion Media on Twitter. There's also a Facebook. You can just type in Babellion Studios. I'm sure you'll find it.
We're working. Reddit. Yeah. Okay. So we're working on Patreon and Reddit as of now. And it's like we're still forming.
It's underground, low-key.
Yeah. We're still kind of forming like formation of it and what we actually want to post there. So give us a little time on that, please. Don't hold us accountable for it now. Yeah.
But you should go watch Dollhouse.
Yeah, for sure.
And subscribe to this channel.
All right, the YouTube.
Yeah.
There you go.
The YouTube.
Thank you guys for coming. Oh, sorry.
Okay, we can edit. Okay.
Thank you guys for coming. We will see you in episode 2, which I don't know. We'll see what that ends up being.
Yeah.
But it'll be soon.
Oh.